Hello, everyone. I hope traders and investors alike were green today. First, I just want to apologize for not getting a video out last night at the beginning of the week, the weekly update. Just having some internet issues. But good thing is we do have PAL tomorrow. The market's doing exactly what we expect, pulling back in a little bit. Going into PAL, people taking some profits just in case. So let's take a minute and talk about PAL. Then we want to get right into the charts, trying to speed the videos up a little bit. So PAL testifies on the Hill this week, tomorrow and Thursday at 10 a.m. The Senate tomorrow, and then the House on Thursday. Now, the questions may be worded a little differently, but basically the answers are going to be the same Thursday as what they are on Wednesday. So, our only market moving day is going to be tomorrow, and we're not positive on how much the market's actually going to move on this. Where they had, Powell had just spoke, expecting a pre-release statement, and then the senators and on tomorrow, and how the House representatives will be able to ask questions on Thursday, but then the senators will get to ask their questions. And of course, they have voters back home who are not happy about inflation. So some of the wording is going to be strong. It is what it is type of deal. I mean, this is Powell's play, but they're going to get to ask questions, and some of those questions may not be worded with the utmost respect. Let's just put it that way. So we could definitely see some movement on the market. So let's get talking about the charts, and we'll talk about what happened today as we get into the charts. We can see the SPX here. We closed strong last week. This week we have a weekly Harami right there for the first trading day. We're still above that support level. We held that support level, and the buyers actually tried to push it back up a little bit at the end of the day. SPX, you can see breath is turning down on us. The our moving average here looks like it wants to turn, so it's trying to change character already. And you can see we're pulling back into the 9. Histograms are still healthy. Good volume, and I do want to point out that this volume on Friday come from rebalancing, which is exactly what we were expecting, and we were able to see some opportunities in the afternoon on that. The U.S. dollar, so you have a bullish Rami there on the U.S. dollar, so we'll keep an eye on that. That probably can see a little bit upside pushing back up to that 9. VIX just getting slammed down in this area. Another down day again today. So it's kind of double bottomish down here. So just want to keep an eye on that. Obviously, it's got to take this peak out here to be a double bottom, and that would complete a little W pattern here. But we're not seeing any strength right now. We're full of weakness. So see if we can get another bounce off of that, support level down there. You can see crude here with a down day after an up day on Friday. You can possibly start to see a little W pattern here. Not super bullish on crude right now. It's just a lot going on with OPEC. Apple, Apple, we did have a high close candle today. You can see where we, did push up today, and the sellers were able to pull that candle back down a little bit. Still give us a high close candle. You can see it tried to push, come back and tried to push again, and it sold into the end of the day. But we still closed above the open, so which gives us a high close candle. A gold weak moving lower. I would look at this as maybe a range. You can see this downtrend here, but if you break lower, you probably find support in this area. This big red candle stopped here for a reason, and this candle opened up and confirmed support there. So we know there's some support in this area. It may not be, a heavy level of support, but if we clear that area, it can give us a lot. So we'll have room to move. I'd hate to take an entry here, run right into support, and even see a struggle. I would rather wait for it to take out the area of interest. After it takes it out, then price can move easier and you have room to make money without all the struggles. You just don't have to sit in the stuff and wait for it to happen. Instead, you can just wait on confirmation of the right levels to be taken out, and then you take your entries there, which can give you a much easier trade. Remember, price action works. It's really simple. The path to least resistance. It's not hard. Trading's not hard. We make it hard, but trading's really not hard. The path to least resistance is the way nature works. Water flows, everything. Price action flows to the path of least resistance. So gold is looking ugly here, but I want to be below that area. SPX. This is the advanced decline lines. They all are turning down. On the New York Stock Exchange, we actually broke below the 9, and down here on the small caps, we broke below our 9 moving average there as well. AMC rolling over, not surprised. We talked about this very rough head and shoulders pattern, but it worked. And this would be your neckline. Just come right back up and tested the shoulder, the neckline. Trade still valid. If you, I would have took profits down here and got look for another entry up here. That's just the way I trade. I can't stand sitting in something why price is going the opposite direction. So, but this would have made a nice short trade, and it's also valid off of this retest area. So when you get these head and shoulders, like I say, it's not textbook, but it's in a downtrend. There's nothing textbook about that, but you can see the formation and it's working. So, but you can see we pushed back up and retested the neckline, the breakout area, and that's where your conservative trader actually looks to enter. Head and shoulders trade very different. And I try to spend a considerable amount of time explaining that because they give a lot. If you understand how they trade, they give a lot of opportunities to move in and out of. AMD, very tight action there today. That's our intraday chart. Amazon starting, still holding in good up here, but we want to roll. We have a level of resistance here. We can also see this volume profile bar. If we can take this area out and clear this volume profile bar, Amazon may be able to move up, but right now it's just looking a little weak. And I don't mean it's looking for an all new low. We could very easily be setting up for some nice possible, buy the dips. You know, buy the dips on these pullbacks. Let's see. I'm not a dip buyer. I will wait for proper signals, but just pointing that out that we market could be setting up just for another run. Art K, uh, a decent candle day. I mean, it's a spinning top, but coming off a red day on Friday, that shows some bullishness there. Uh, it's pretty healthy. It's a healthy chart. AMD, we do have a gap below us. This chart's actually healthy as well. I mean, we had this nice push up. As long as we hold this gap, we're bullish. Now, if we lose this gap, we're going to get a what? An island top. And an island top is bearish. And what's most likely going to happen? We're most likely going to get a breakaway gap on the downside to create the island top, just like we had a breakaway gap here. Uh, I did a video on this over the weekend. If you didn't see that video, we will have a link in the description or in the comments. We'll put a link in the comments. AMD chopping around here. This is your weekly chart. You can see the last few weeks. So we huge candle up, a little dark cloud coverage, not a dark cloud cover, but a little kind of piercing candleish, not really a piercing candle. Well, it is because we did cover just about 50% of that candle. So we had this piercing candle, but it didn't get confirmed. So it's just a candle, just chopping around. Kind of looks like it's waiting on that weekly 9 to catch up. Once again, AMD, their little AI Premiere wasn't much about AI, and there wasn't really anything to sell there right now. And that's what the market looked for. The market wanted to see AI. They wanted to see something that could be sold, that day, and where the company can start making money. But they're just not ready yet. They did. They had a great presentation, and there was a lot of stuff that they're doing, which is going to be great for the company. But it just wasn't what the market wanted to hear at the time. So Affirm moving lower. Amazon very choppy here. You see, we had a pretty rough day. There was a lot of opportunities in there. If you were patient, the market offered some really great opportunities, especially when you're going in to a trading day and you're already expecting chops. So you're knowing that you only need to take the best opportunities. You can see Amazon here on the weekly chart got back into the Bollinger Bands here once again. This one looks like it's just kind of hanging out, waiting on the weekly 9 to catch up, and we're also heading back in. So we've seen that Amazon, we talked about the volume profile on Amazon, and we can also see here on the weekly time frame, a higher time frame, that you can see once again light volume profile in here and the path of least resistance. Better, most likely to go up before it goes down when you look at it like that. And obviously, we're going to play levels and play signals. We don't, I can't just buy. It's too easy. The price action really tells you a story. I've said this so many times. I know people are tired of hearing it, but price action tells a story, and each candle is an actual chapter of that book. And so if you just listen, you can learn to read people. You can also learn to read candles. Apple Weekly, nice push there. Little weekly Harami, bullish Harami there right now. A Boeing, ugly move down. That's one we were watching right back down into the cup. BTU, we put this one. This was a members request here, and we will put any chart for anybody. If you have a chart request, throw it in the comment section. But this was for a member and a very nice breakout here. Very nice breakout. So you can see that we had a trend break. We come up, tested the trend, pulled back, waited on the nine. The nine caught up. The same setup we talk every day on intraday charts. One of the setups that we call every day and we explain every single day. Uh, Bitcoin, nice push up there on the weekly. Bitcoin had a good weekend, had a decent weekend, strong day there today. Big push, pushing up into this volume profile. If we can clear this area, maybe we can start to, maybe Bitcoin can start to push up. It's a good sign. I hate to be super bearish on the market when Bitcoin looks like that. So Boeing, we talked about Boeing this morning. Boeing had some mixed news on it, but the biggest thing was it lost about 500 planes, I believe. And you can see that big move down there. We were watching the chart. We got some trades on it on Friday, some quick trades. We're hoping to see a better move on it today. It actually provided some really good money to the downside because we kind of expecting that with the news that come on and on it. A CVX turned back down, trying to move lower. Energy's weak. I'm sorry, communications still trying to push up here. We did have a down day on Friday, a high close little star there, Doji star. Now watch consumer staples. Consumer staples, we have an evening star here. I know it's not perfect. That's not the best star, but we have an evening star here. Uptrend, a break below the candle pattern in this case. We need to break below the candle pattern. For me, I'd like to be below this wick here for a move down into that 9 and 20. Make sure you're paying attention to where your 9 opens up in the morning. But we can definitely see some weakness here on consumer staples. And we can also see that here in the cost chart. Beautiful move up, but we have lost a 9 here on a daily. Still got a decent MACD, but we are seeing some bearish volume coming in and two really decent expanding volume type bars. A little bit higher than average, especially on Friday. We got a bearish engulfing on Friday, and today it's a little spinning top there. Just a regular standard candle, but it did close below the 9. So we may see some pulling back on consumer staples. We'll keep them on the radar for some possible short side. If the our names that we normally watch and we have levels on, like the tech names that we normally watch, that pretty much pay the best. If they're running in an uptrend, I'm going to follow them before I'm looking for shorts. I just can't see a reason to try to counter trend anything when 75% of the market's running up, or moving higher. So, but DraftKings, you can see, we back below the 9 and 20, and we tried to push up into the 20 today on the daily. See, maybe might want to got to be above those moving averages for me. DDOG, we had this nice contraction pattern breakout, come back down, retested the center, tried to pop. It's struggling here. If we can remain above that 9 and 20 up, it could still be bullish. If we can take out the center of this pattern to the downside, if we lose this and pull back and we cross the center of that pattern, then I am bearish. Lilly trying to move higher, decent candle today after Friday. Energy down candle today, starting to look very tower topish there. Not super squared off though. Google, it's trying to push, but you can kind of see it wanting to roll over here. It's miniature 8 cell pattern. So we had this little ascending triangle, tried to break out to the upside, crash right back down through the patterns, been chopping. You can kind of see it. Look, it's not a very big move down, but kind of looks like it wants to H cell pattern there. So breaking below those wicks, all those candles for a move down. If does go for a move down, watch your band. Your bands look like it want to tube. See how straight those bands are? It looks like it want to chop sideways for a few more candles. But if we do pull here, watch your gap down there. If the market does pull, we do have some gaps on quite a few of these assets that will provide some really, really good trading opportunities. IWM, you can clearly see the downtrend from Friday, but today we did manage to close on the highs. You can see we lost it there, moving lower after hours. Probably pulling back with FedEx's earnings. FedEx's earnings probably not helping anything here. QQQ, high close candle today. I mean, it's you can't. How can you be bearish on that? I mean, it's not just a healthy pullback. I mean, I can't be bearish on that. Sorry. I know that's what people want to hear. Q's strong move up. You know, bullish bullish Rami. Mara breaking out of this long it's to me, it's a contraction pattern, but it's not really a contraction pattern. It's trading in a tight base or a rectangle, but we broke out of that today, trading on expanding volume. The last 2 days trading on well, we'll give Friday decent volume today, expanding volume. Keep an eye on Mara. Keep an eye on all the crypto names. Merck trying to push back up here. We did close above the 9, but we got to clear that 20. Keep an eye on this. That MACD wanting to cross. This could gap up. You could get like a breakaway type gap and look for a push there if we can get that. Meta, watch it off that daily 9. I mean, you've been able to make a ton of money off that daily 9. Every time it comes back, touches this daily 9, go long. It's getting ready to do it again. It's worth keeping an eye on. Look for an actual, draw the levels out on your chart. So go check your daily 9 on your daily chart. See what the level is after market open tomorrow morning, because that 9 will move a little bit, and look for a pullback to the daily 9. When it gets to the daily 9, set an alert. If you can get a proper reaction off that daily 9, like maybe a bullish Rami, hammer candle, morning stars, some kind of bullish signal, maybe a trade could be had there, but wait for a bullish signal. Meta, you can see a nice push there today. We had that one on the radar. Microsoft pulled back in, still above the 9 and 20. Now, it did pull back in. It is a very dark cloud coverage candle, very bearish candle, and it did pull in. But today was no massive down day for it. MACD's definitely chopping around, and you can clearly see the downtrend that's been taking place here on Microsoft, Friday and today, and in the pre-market and after hours. Microsoft Weekly, we do have a bearish Harami there, but it's not, it can't be super bearish on that. It's been hanging out here waiting on the weekly 9 to catch up. So Microsoft could be gearing up for a move higher. Nvidia, all new high today. I know it's just a terrible bear market. And we were actually expecting the semis to get hit a little bit on that Taiwan semi news. But, Nvidia wasn't a huge range day, but all new high. And you can see here it pulled back and pull right back in here to the previous after hours levels. So Nvidia on Friday, we closed after hours. We pulled right back to that after hour level and pushed. That's why I say pre-market levels, after hour levels. Those levels are important. Make sure you have them on your chart. If you don't like to trade with them on your chart, at least know where they are. Nvidia weekly trying to push here. Nice chart. Nasdaq, how can you be bearish on that chart? Beautiful breakout of this trading range here. When we broke the trading range, and took this resistance level out, we've been pushing higher. We were expecting a big move, taking this level out. I leaned on these volume profile bars a lot, so we were expecting this. But Netflix, how can you be bearish on this chart? Huge bearish engulfing candle, and you have a small bullish Harami there today, and that's not really a bullish Harami because it's outside of the previous day's range, but it's a bullish candle. The Q's still on the monthly, still holding in up here above that little cup. We've got this little cup, and remember, we don't need a handle to continue to push. But we're right here at a previous candle line where we could definitely some resistance there. We could definitely pull back to put in a handle, and that would be perfectly healthy to pull back and pull back 30% of this original move. That would be perfectly healthy. Uh, Roblex is back up to the top of this trading range here. You can see SPX, nice push here. Good job, man. Good job. Awesome. So strong bullish candle. We got a slightly dark cloud cover. So it's not a dark cloud cover pulling back. So we closed with a small hammer candle today on the SPX. SoFi, uh, below the 9 here. So we broke below the 9. Today's candle gap down and pushed back up. So that's a bullish candle. A gap down and push back up. I need a confirmation tomorrow, and I need for this candle to open up and push up above. I need to take that 9 out, move higher. Will we see follow through off today's candle to push higher? That's what we need to see. The diamond hammer candle on the 9. How can you be super bearish on that? Like I said, part of me wants to say we're just pulling back for, setting up for some good pullback opportunities. Diamond weekly, SPY, nice weekly candle here. Last week, small bearish doji. SPY weekly here, nice push up there as well. SPY daily, very dark cloud cover. It's not a dark cloud cover, and this is a long-legged doji. It's a low close candle, a little bit of bearishness there, but it's not the end of the world yet. You can see a nice move down. We could be gearing up because we're going into summertime. The markets notoriously pull back a little bit in the summertime. Coming into the Fed rate, so there could be some things changing. But right now, the market's in a confirmed uptrend, and I'm going to remain bullish, looking for setups, viable setups. Square above this 50-day chart looks good there. Square was strong today. We had it on the radar. CRM bullish engulfing candle. Chart looks good. Shop does not look too bad. Had this little cut. Looks like we're just trying to pull back and put in a handle. Still holding in. Starbucks pulling back. Watch this off your 9 and 20. We want to see this 9 continue up. We want to see this 20 turn up. Got a great MACD. Waiting on the 9. We're looking for a move higher there. Tesla, huge move today, and we were actually bullish on this due to the daily chart. And we'll get to that. Here's the weekly chart on Tesla, but this is your daily chart. Unfortunately, with not being able to get the video out last night, we, was able to talk about it though in the Discord. Strong push there today. There was nothing wrong. A lot of people are calling this stock extended. That stock's not extended. That's not extended. A nice move up. Took a small few days in here, put in a small base, looking for a move higher. Sometimes that's all it takes. Got a nice trade on Tesla today as well. Uber, traded Tesla twice today. Uber, broke out its contraction pattern, come down, push up, come down, push up again, coming back to the 9. Great looking moving averages. Look at that spread. I wish I had more in the MACD. We're going to watch Uber off the 9. If we push, watch the top of your flagpole before we get a move higher. Walmart broke below this 9 today on the daily. XLF holding this 9 on the daily below the 200 there. TLT pushed up today, nice up day, cleared that level of resistance. And we got IWM weekly trading with a bearish Harami, double inside weekly there so far. IWM, we have had this nice move. We lost this 9 today. So that is a sign. This concludes our video for today. Sorry I had to rush through the end of it. Just getting a little long. I hope you find this helpful, and I will see you in the trading room.